Hi everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Subconsciously Speaking. What's in your mind? And today we're going to talk about what is in your mind. But first, I like to do a but first, just to get you going. I have a little joke. I like to start off with a little joke or a funny or an inspirational. Today it's about the sandwich incident. So the other day I walked into the kitchen fully determined to eat healthier. I told myself, today is the day, Ilah. You're gonna make a kale smoothie, meditate, maybe even stretch dramatically in the backyard like a wellness guru. I open the fridge, I stare at the kale, I stare at the almond milk, and then my subconscious mind, that sneaky little devil, whispers, what if, hear me out, we make a grilled cheese sandwich instead? Now, logically, I know that's not the plan, but before I can even blink, I'm holding cheese like it's contraband and justifying it like, well, cheese does come from cows and cows eat grass, so technically this is a pre-processed kale. That, my friends, is the power of the subconscious mind. It doesn't argue, it doesn't reason, it just makes the sandwich. So let's get on with our show. I want to teach you a little bit about the subconscious mind. It's kind of like what I do with any client that walks in on a first session. Just kind of explain what's going on and how it works. So I'm going to draw a picture and show you how this works. And with the advent of trick photography, we're going to make it work. So we're going to pretend this is your mind. Actually, a pretty good circle there. And at the bottom base of our mind is what we call primitive mind. It's the amygdala back here. It's the part that houses what we call fight or flight. You know, that part that shares the dangers of what's going on. So imagine walking down an alley at night and you hear footsteps behind you. Immediately, with you doing nothing on your own, your heart rate's going to increase and your breathing's going to become labored. Adrenaline and cortisol is going to hit your bloodstreams. Your muscles are going to get tight because you don't know if it's a friend or foe behind you. Are you going to flee? Are you going to fight? Are you going to freeze? You don't know. But that's what that part of our mind does. It helps us know when danger is alerted. And we may not consciously believe it's danger. Our subconscious mind's always on the lookout for danger. Imagine, why do we slow down for car accidents? Subconsciously, it's looking for what might hurt us. Consciously, yeah, we want to see the blood and guts, of course. Well, what's going on in that accident? But subconsciously, it's just looking out for what might hurt it. Remember, we're dealing with the primitive area. Also, in the subconscious mind, we have two fears: the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. That's what we're born with. Any other fear you have, you learned it. And if you learn something, you can unlearn it. Go on YouTube and look up the backwards bicycle with Dustin Stanler, the Getting Smarter Every Day. He learned how to ride a bicycle. Then he unlearned how to ride a bicycle to learn how to ride a backwards bicycle. You can unlearn what you learn. When you learn a fear or a phobia becomes apparent, you can unlearn it or you can get past it. People have an actual fear of public speaking. So imagine being the presenter for a board of directors meeting and you have to give that presentation. Yet you're in the bathroom releasing your bodily fluids because you can't make it into the boardroom because your subconscious mind remembers third grade when you got laughed at your old book report. Now, whether you remember it or not, it doesn't matter. Your subconscious mind remembers. And that ideology, that idea, no, we don't do public speaking, becomes a reality for you. And introducing my cup. And then we have the fears and phobias, things that we learn that are healthy. Like think about a baby in a basket full of snakes. Is that baby afraid of those snakes? Probably not, hasn't learned how. Babies love to put everything in their mouth, the creepy crawlies or whatever. So what do? We learn, we teach them, don't do that. We teach them to respect fire and water and creepy crawlies and snakes, etc. So we teach our children the healthy fears. Now your child's born till about age 8. 8 is like an average age. It's the age of reason, if you will. And this big part right here, this is our subconscious mind, this big part. I'm just going to label it subconscious mind. And it makes up 88% of our brain power. That means our conscious mind is at 12%. You and me, we're in our 12% right now. Let's talk about this 88%. When you're a child and you're born, everything is absolute truth to a child. Everything. Think about a child, what they learn when they're children. They learn reality in their mind. Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, Mom's 25 years old every year. All of it's an absolutely truth to a child. You can teach them anything. You can teach a child, this is my coffee cup, and where are my glasses, and did you hide my car keys? Anything is absolutely true to a child. We teach them healthy fears. Children learn everything. So as they're growing up, they are plagued, I don't really mean that like it sounds. They are just permeated with information, calling these message units. These are message units that are just those little synapses that are in the mind and the brain. Just think about a child taking in all this information. They don't have a filter. Every single day, millions and millions of pieces of these message units. Now you and me, we're gonna wake up today, and when we go to sleep tonight, we will have taken in 50 million pieces of information with all of our senses. What you see, smell, taste, hear, sound, feel, all of it. It's all the senses, 50 million. Everything you see behind me in the screenshot, all of the cars you pass on the road, all of it. And a lot of it doesn't matter. It's benign. It has no relevancy. So as you sleep through the night, your mind just gets rid of it. It doesn't need it. To a child, however, they don't have that filter. So everything just stays. Everything is absolutely true. Fact, fantasy, right, wrong, yes, no, healthy, unhealthy, doesn't matter. All of it's truth to a child. Absolutely true. Every one of these I call, it's a known. These are knowns. This is a W. Knowns. Knowns bring emotional pleasure to the subconscious mind. So if it's a known, it brings emotional pleasure. Period. If it's an unknown, it brings discomfort. And that's whenever you're trying to make a change, you feel this resistance going on because of that. So now let's fast forward to age 8-ish. Could be a little younger, a little older. But this filter starts to develop between the conscious and the subconscious mind. I call it critical mind. And this is where we decide, we reason, we analyze. We use this thing called willpower and logic to try to make a change at 12% brain power. It might work for maybe 1% of the population. It's not that it's impossible to change. It's difficult. It's challenging. It can be done. But it is, but when the subconscious mind runs the show, it can become a challenge. Also realize all of these things, your decisions, your reasoning, your analysis, your willpower, your logic, all of those only work at a conscious level, not at a subconscious level. At the subconscious level, what does work? Imagination and emotions. Ooh, that's your power right there. Imagine, everything runs on imagination. We wouldn't have a pen without our imagination. We wouldn't have paper. We wouldn't have the computers. We wouldn't have this podcast without someone's imagination having created it. Our imagination really controls, and we're not limited. It's an unlimited resource. Emotions are just energy in motion, and sometimes they get stuck and they need help moving on. And once they process, they process. So what happens is you're trying to make a change. And let's take somebody who smokes, because it seems to be a reasonable request. People contact me often I'll be helping a couple of people this next week quit smoking. They've been smoking for 30 years. They put that thought in. I'm going to quit. They put out that cigarette. No more. I'm done. But this critical mind is going to start searching the subconscious mind for anything that'll agree with that decision. I'm going to quit smoking. And it's looking for smoke-free, quit smoking. Oh, wait, no. We smoke. That's a known. And remember, knowns bring emotional pleasure, and it kicks the idea out. Now, cold turkey is probably the best way to quit because it's horrible. It is horrible to quit smoking that way. But what I do is I'm going to take this critical mind, give it a little bit of a coffee break, kind of, relax it. And then I'm going to open it up and I'm going to drop in suggestions, positive, all kinds of suggestions to collapse this and create new knowns. And if it's a known, remember, it brings emotional pleasure to the subconscious mind. It's so easy, right? And it is. It can be that easy. I've had so many people, I've helped hundreds quit smoking, thousands get out of anxiety just by changing some of these knowns. You change the knowns, you change the landscape. And now these knowns, the subconscious mind will do whatever it can to protect those knowns. It does not like discomfort. It likes to keep everything in a comfort zone. So when you're in comfort zone, whatever that is, let's use your bank account, for example. Let's say you like your bank account always to have $5,000. It doesn't like to go below it. That's your minimum, maximum. That's your balance. That's your zero. All right, so you're at 5,000. But let's say tomorrow you get a new tax credit you didn't even know you had, and the IRS dumps an extra $5,000 in there. Now you've always carried $5,000 for the last 10 years. You've just always had $5,000. You just know that no matter what, you have this fund in your regular checking account of $5,000. But the next day, now you've got 10. You know what's going to happen? Most people, they're going to get lazy. They're going to sabotage that 5,000 because subconscious mind's used to 5. That extra 5,000, it's just you're going to spend it. Unless you remove it, do something with it immediately, you're going to spend it. I'm going to spend it, and it's just going to become back to 5,000 again. But what happens when you get below 5,000? Oh, you don't procrastinate anymore. You kind of get motivated because you got to get it back up there. Especially if someone comes in and takes the money out that wasn't supposed to. Then you're going to go fight for that money and get it back. Look at money as like energy. But that's our subconscious mind. It likes comfort zone, keeping things comfortable. And when I help you make that change, we keep it comfortable so that the subconscious mind keeps it comfortable. It keeps homeostasis going, the drive to keep things the same, always keeping things the same. Now, when you look at my little chart here, I have thousands of, literally, probably 3,000 or more hours of training, always taking classes and just learning more and more and more I can about the subconscious mind. And I have you work with your 12%. I'm going to work with my 88%. And together, we're going to have this 100% effectiveness. And it's safe. The thing about hypnosis, it's safe. It's something we're in and out of every day. It's something that's organic. The producers of this segment, they just went on a long road trip and they had to do hours of driving across country. And there were moments, I'm gonna bet, as they're sitting here in the background, mesmerizing by the road. It's just road. It's just road. You're just driving along. It's nothing but road in front of you. You get mesmerized by that. Well, by the way, the word mesmerized, that's just another word for hypnosis. Trance is another word. It's all safe. It's just, there's such an interesting stigma that's been going on. Allow me to work with you. If you're not sure about it, no problem. Call and talk to me. I'd be happy to. Now, starting in 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing here in Visalia a weekly in-person self-improvement classes. I'm going to be It's going to be kind of fun. Well, it's going to be fun. It is fun, as I'm looking for my list. They're going to be free. There's going to be a room for about 25 people. There will be registration required to get in. Otherwise, it'll be standing room only through my lobby glass door. But it's there'll be free segments. So the first one I'm going to be doing will be on June 18th. I'll be doing this again. What you learned tonight, I'll be actually lecturing this again on that night. Not that night, not the 18th. That'll be on July 2nd. But on the 18th, I'm going to be talking about change. What is change? How does change work? Why is it that we want change, yet it requires movement from our emotions, from our energy to make a change? I thought about going gray. That would have been a big change, wouldn't it? It's just change. Change is what you want. You're here, you want to be here, and there's all this in between stuff. Well, how do you get there? Well, I'm going to help you understand that a little bit better. When you come and see me and you want to work with me, and I'm happy to. I'm like the coach, you're the athlete. I'm going to do whatever I can to help you. But there is some work that you have to do. You have to be willing. Just have a willingness to take on the experience and know that change is going to occur. Ask yourself the question, whatever it is you want to change. If you're a smoker, can you imagine yourself being smoke-free? If you are somebody who is obsessed with XYZ, can you imagine your life without it? If you've been in anxiety and you know you're in this anxiety, what's life going to be like without it? Just imagining yourself without those things that are holding you down. Just imagining. Just starting with that powerful tool, imagination. It doesn't take willpower. It takes imagination. Your imagination can control the show. So I want you to think about how your imagination protects you. Think about a 10-foot hallway. And I put down a really thin layer of plywood on the hallway floor. This is not an original idea. I took it from a book somewhere. And you were to walk across that piece of plywood in my hallway. It wouldn't be a hard thing to do, and you wouldn't need a hard hat or any gear to do it. But let's take that same piece of plywood and raise it 10,000 feet. And let's put hot air balloons on either side of it. And I don't give you a helmet, I don't give you any gear, and there's no net. What are the chances of you walking across that piece of plywood now? A lot of you are like, no way. And some of you engineers, I know, you're like, well, that piece of wood wouldn't have made it 10,000 feet. I agree, but just go for the imagination of it, would you? And not only that, but how many of us wouldn't even go 100 feet, let alone 10 feet up in the air? Anyway, so I'll be working with teaching stuff like success program I do. I'll be doing a workshop on weight management, smoking, anxiety, self-hypnosis, fears and phobias, law of attraction, working with the law of vibration, relationship strategies. I'll be working with, talking a workshop. These are the self-improvement ones coming up starting June 18th. Look for it on my website at centralvalleyhypnotherapy.com. You can also find it it'll be on my events page on Central Valley Hypnotherapy on my Facebook page. Just go to Central Valley Hypnotherapy. It's on my Facebook page. You should see a picture of me, a little bit younger, but about 5 years old, younger. I'll also do a workshop on substance abuse and sleep. I'll do a whole segment on IEMT, Integral Eye Movement Technique. It's how we reduce trauma, PTSD, shame. I'll do a segment on biofeedback. I'll have several people hooked up to biofeedback devices, watching them and how they maneuver those, etc. So, and these will rotate. After I get through the whole gamut, I'll just rotate them over and over and over again. So looking out for a lot of fun. Oh, I am going to do one on procrastination. That was added to the list. That seems to be coming up a lot lately in my clientele. So I thought, well, whatever I can do to help. These will be free self-improvements every Wednesday night in person. They'll be 6:30 to 9 o'clock. And I'll have a whole calendar set up on my website and a whole event page set up on my Facebook page. Central Valley Hypnotherapy. And if you have any questions, you can go to my website and just click on, click on a, what do they call those? Schedule. Click on my schedule. Click on my scheduler and then I'll call you. Or you can just, my phone's right there, phone number's at the top of the website, just call me. If I'm available, I will answer for sure. Anyway, you take care, everyone. Thank you all for coming and watching. And I look forward to us meeting again next week. This is Ilah Brock. And again, Subconsciously Speaking. What's in your mind? Have a great day, everyone.